Money's been huge, especially on the offensive side of the ball, averaging 8 points per game and shooting almost 42% from the field.
And a big thing coming into this game is Rockford's #1 ranked offense in the conference, led by none other than Brandon Emmerich, who is scoring almost 16 points a game, as well as Micah Swanson with almost 14. So those two are going to be key contributors for the Regents tonight. Now looking back at that 4-game win streak, comparing it to Rockford after they coming off a tough loss against WLC and by a score 86-82 on January 8th. 2 weeks gap. That's a big difference in a basketball season, especially if you want to catch momentum. I mean, you look at the Cougars and then you look at Rockford. What do you think is going to be a key difference tonight between the two teams that could separate the victor and the defeated?
Well, Rockford, like you said, hasn't played in almost 2 weeks. They're going to have to stay under control tonight. They're playing on the road in a tough environment. We're expecting a big crowd tonight here at CUC. So just playing under control will be a big factor for the Rockford Regents tonight.
Teams are lining up in front of their bench for the national anthem. We're going to send it down to public address announcer Jim Egan for the anthem and starting lineups.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask everyone to please rise. Gentlemen, kindly remove your hats as we honor America, the men and women of our military and our first responders with the playing of our national anthem by the Concordia Chicago Cougar Band.
Meeks, Isaac Rudell, and Emmanuel Wilson. The Regents are wearing their all-purple jerseys with white trim and numbers. The Cougars in their all-white home jerseys with maroon numbers and maroon and gold trim. As fans pile in the Geisman Gymnasium, want to remind you, for all CUC men's basketball coverage and CUC athletics, go to cucougars.com for future live streams, stats, and schedule updates. Hatton and Swanson are at center court for the tip-off. And Hatton wins it, but out of nowhere, Brandon Emmerich flying down to the Cougars' side.
And if you're Coach Collar, that is one thing you do not want to see on the very first play of the game. Easy layup by Rockford.
Rockford is a high-paced team, a lot of energy. Hatton's 1-foot shot, no good, gets his own chance, and one! Already an early putback for Brent Hatton, who they're going to have to heavily rely on tonight.
And what a great response by Hatton, giving up the layup early, but keep standing in the paint, fighting for the rebound, and putting it back up for two.
Hatton averaging 9 points a contest, misses the free throw. As we mentioned, rebounding is going to be key. Cougars almost 38 rebounds per game. They've been able to up that number in the later parts of the season, but at the start, they were out a little bit of character in some players that were able to get that number up, as the Cougars able to steal it inside. Rudell on the wing for a long ball, banks it in. Already the bank is open, and you can see Isaac Rudell is pumped up, high-fiving former teammate J.J. Schwartz in the stands. Cougars up 5-2. Swanson travels inside. And a foul is actually called. Goes against Brent Hatton. Took a big hop inside of the restricted area and was fouled on the way up. Emmerich taking it out for the Regents. Floats it into Bell. Emmanuel Wilson, the sophomore guard, is going to have another big role in this game. A three from Emmerich. High and a swish.
The shot looked a little rushed from Emmerich, but way to stand in there and hit the three.
Regents are shooting 33% from downtown on the season as a team. Cougars 28%. Rudell inside. Rudell already catching a little heat. He's got 5 points, 18-19 remaining in the first half.
We mentioned Emmanuel Wilson earlier and how big of a role he'll play tonight, but we got to talk about Isaac Rudell as well. Averaging 9 points per game, he's going to be big for the Cougars as far as leadership goes as well.
And I think the other thing about Rudell's game that's important to mention is that his rebounding skills are going to be huge. 6.5 rebounds a game, that is a team high. As Meeks loses it out of bounds, it'll go to Rockford. Checking in for the Regents, Vincent Eugene. Cougars lining up in full court press. Wilson picking up Eugene. Long ball from centers off the mark. Wilson bringing it up, gives it to Meeks. Wilson fires it over to Meeks in the corner. He'll try inside, spinning around, underhanded. Wasn't able to roll it in. Good poke out by Matthews, but the possession will stay with Rockford. And Parker, one part of Coach Kohler's coaching style is his intensity that he brings to every game. Very active on the sideline, and that is matched by his players on the court. And that's going to be something that the Cougars really need to rely on too, is keeping the momentum going, because we've seen several times in games they've gone down in the first half, had to climb their way back after a double-digit deficit, and they're just barely contending at halftime, a couple of points off, and then they'll pull it out in the second half.
Right, and we see the aggressiveness by Coach Collar's team starting in a full court press early in the first half. I love the aggressiveness by CUC.
Matthews loses it. Lacey streaking up the court. And almost a dunk by Swanson. Swanson will head to the free throw line to shoot 2 free throws. Foul goes against Brent Hatton, so already 2 fouls for the junior.
And if you're Brent Hatton, 2 fouls already in the first 3 minutes of the game. You're going to have to play a lot smarter because this team relies heavily on you.
Landon Gladney checking in, returning to the court for the Cougars. Did not play in their last game against Marian University on the 15th. But he is a big part of this offense, averaging 8 points a game. And just his presence inside, too, draws defenders to him and opens up the Cougars' offense a little bit more.
That's right. He's a big guy who loves to get inside and make post moves, but he can also shoot the 3.
Meeks a 3, right side miss. Gladney trying to keep it in bounds. Collicott got a hand on it. It'll go out of bounds. Nick Phillips in for Rockford will replace Zach Centers. And you see Jacob Collicott applying some ball pressure to Lacey, and he's really stepped onto the game for the Cougars as one of those freshmen that Coach Kohler could rely on. There's almost another dunk attempt by TJ Lacey inside, so Rockford already displaying that they have some hops, and they're going to put on some dunking if they can. Rudell, corner 3, rattles it home. Isaac Rudell off to a hot start, 8 points. 2 of 2 from downtown. Foul committed by Landon Gladney. Vincent Eugene trying to go for a contested shot on the block. Eugene shooting 83% from the charity stripe on a season. It'll only be his 7th and 8th attempt. Misses the first. Justin Greenlee and Emmanuel Wilson check in for the Cougars.
If you're Coach Kohler, you want to be able to draw up something defensively where you can keep Rockford out of the paint. It seems that they're driving in very easily and they're having no problem getting inside the paint.
Justin Greenlee bringing the ball up for the Cougars. Not getting the start tonight. He has started in 10 games this season for Coach Kohler. Foul on the ground. Gladney trying to drive. Cougars will set up shop underneath the basket on the left side. Foul goes against Vincent Eugene, his first, team second.
And this is what we were talking about with Gladney. He's a big body, loves to get inside the paint, loves to draw those fouls.
And he's one of the taller guys out there for CUC at 6'5", only 180, but he has this ability to be light on his feet and make post moves that usually you wouldn't see bigger guys make.
Exactly, Carter, and don't let his size fool you. He can shoot that ball from 3 as well.
Jacob Collicott inbounding to Justin Greenlee. Already have seen some athletic plays from both teams. We've just played 4.5 minutes of ball inside a Geisman Gymnasium. Offensive foul called on Landon Gladney.
And that's already 2 fouls on Gladney. Not the start you want if you're Coach Kohler, with Brett Hatton with 2 and Landon Gladney with 2 as well. You got to play smarter defensively.
And Tavares Davis-Williams, the 6'7" junior, is scratched from the lineup tonight. So you're already missing some height that you could have relied on from the bench. So it's going to be important for these Cougars to stay out of foul trouble. And also, you might have to see some of the guards taking on a bigger role. And when I mean bigger role, get into some hard work inside. Greenlee dumps it into Gladney. Backing up on Lacey. Good read by Greenlee, diving inside. Misses the layup, but gets it back.
What a pass by Gladney, but if you're Justin Greenlee, that's one you wish you had back.
Those missed baskets, Coach Kohler will pull his hair out over, as that was a great shot. Rudell, a 3. Bang! Isaac Rudell already in double digits with 11 points. Perfect 3 of 3 from behind the arc. He's got 11 of the 13 Cougar points.
And if you're Isaac Rudell, you could have not asked for a better start to this game. He's got the hot hand for sure.
Rudell's season high is 16 in the last game against Marion. I can't do quick math and tell you what he is currently on track for, but a hot start the Cougars needed as a turnover by Rockford. Emmanuel Wilson trying to be acrobatic, misses the layup. Jordan Matthews spinning around, ball moving on the perimeter for the Cougars. Greenlee stops on the block. Good put up there, forces a timeout by Rockford. Cougars going on a nice run, 8-1 run to be exact in the last 2 minutes and 56 seconds. Cougars are up 15-8 with 14:08 left in the first half.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. The trees stand tall. Mother, mother, you tell me to stay rooted. The tree's roots go deep. You tell me to focus on my breath, and the trees breathe for the earth. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? Will you be the kind that makes shade, or the kind that shows a new way? Might you be the kind to hug, or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind. The child had a few more questions after that, and the forest had plenty of answers.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Rockford brings the ball up after the timeout was called. The Cougars are off to a hot start. More specifically, Isaac Rudell and Parker. What we're seeing right now is the Cougars are able to capitalize and transition on some of the turnovers of Rockford, already with 4 in the game. And that's one key that you talked about in the pregame. They need to capitalize on those opportunities that are given to them.
That's right. If they're going to be able to poke the ball away, you have to be able to convert on the other end if you want to beat Rockford tonight.
Jalen Meeks, nice move inside.
What a move by Meeks.
The fifth-year senior from Aurora, Colorado. He's been averaging 10 points a game, has really stepped it up. That's why he's in the starting spot now, starting in his 6th game of the season. You can see him now playing post defense on Micah Swanson. Double dribble called on Swanson. Regents now with 6 turnovers. And we're looking even deeper inside of the box score right now. Off of those 6 turnovers, the Cougars have 7 points because of them. And that's one department that we usually see really dictates in those close games the outcome.
Especially in games like this. You know, CUC and Rockford, the series has been very tight. And if you're CUC, you've got to be able to capitalize on these turnovers. And that'll help you tonight.
Emmanuel Wilson's 3-point attempt, no good. Rockford has not scored in the last 3.5 minutes. The shot from Emmerich off the mark. Cougars in transition. Meeks found a lane inside. Had to pull out and give it up to Jacob Collicott. Emmanuel Wilson will try again. He's fouled. Foul goes against Brandon Emmerich. That is his first, team's 3rd. Substitutions for both teams. Isaac Rudell returns to the court. First time for the Cougars out now. Will Wainscott, the sophomore from Oswego, Illinois.
And we see what you were talking about earlier. Coach Collar's put in a smaller lineup. These guys will really have to step up tonight. Already Gladney and Hatton with 2 fouls each.
Turnover by Meeks. In for Rockford, TJ Lacey for Micah Swanson. A 3 from Singleton. Nails it from the wing. Ashton Singleton ends the drought for Rockford. They're now trailing 17-11. Good pass inside by Rudell. Right idea, just Meeks was moving a little bit too fast on the baseline. Vincent Eugene back in for Rockford. Brent Hatton returns to the court as well. Lacey, handoff to Singleton. You see this Cougars team is already communicating a lot in their man-to-man defense. If you walk in on any of their practices, you can hear them always constantly talking to one another. As another three from Ashton Singleton cuts the Cougars' lead to 3.
We see CUC starting to be able to keep them out of the paint a little bit. Now they just have to find a way to be able to close out on the threes.
Singleton only 27% from behind the arc on the season. Already 2 of 2 in the last 2 possessions from 3. Hatton trying to spin around, gets his shot blocked from behind by Vincent Eugene.
Hatton almost with the reach-in foul right there.
Rudell fouls Singleton. And one part, though, that we should mention is the Cougars need to stay out of foul trouble. We often find the Cougars giving up several fouls earlier on in the game, and towards the later part of a half, that comes back to bite them because of the free throw shooting.
Right, keeping Rockford away from the line will save you a lot of points.
Good move by Lacey, wasn't able to finish again near the rim. Cougars offense has been looking hot so far. Isaac Rudell with 11 points, 3 of 3 from deep. He has it inside, pump fakes, floats it in. Isaac Rudell on a tear to start this one.
13 points already. We talked about how Isaac Rudell's leadership will be a key in tonight's game, and he's really stepped up so far.
Jaden Bell manhandles Brett Hatton in the post. And even for some of these smaller guards for Rockford, they are not afraid to take it inside and go at the Cougars.
They've shown they like to play aggressive so far in this game.
Hatton shot fake on the baseline, trying to squeak it in to Wilson. He does for 3, misses off the back. Rudell almost poked it away. Matthews inside, ball is hit up in the air by Singleton. He is going down the left side. No foul called. Singleton hits the deck. Rudell not able to keep it in play in front of the Rockford bench.
That was an excellent defensive play by Emmanuel Wilson. Keeping your hands up in the air, not bringing them down so the foul's not called. What a great play by Wilson.
Now a timeout called by Coach Kohler and CUC. 30-second timeout. 9:41 remaining in the first half. Rockford has climbed back into it. Still down, though, 19-16.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. The trees stand tall. Mother, mother, you tell me to stay rooted. The tree's roots go deep. You tell me to focus on my breath, and the trees breathe for the earth. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are.
Couple substitutions for each team. Justin Greenlee returns for the Cougars. We'll get you the subs for Rockford in a moment.
It looks like the Cougars have transitioned to a 1-3-1 zone defense.
Cougars are going the other way after the missed shot. Rudell trying to squeak it inside to Matthews, now has to pull it out. Wainscott at the top, a 3, he hits it. Will Wainscott.
What a shot by Will Wainscott, getting put into the fire early into this game and knocking down a big 3 for the Cougars.
That is Will Wainscott's first 3-pointer made on the season as Matthew feeds it up to Rudell in transition. What a shot by Isaac Rudell. Great finish after he was contested at the backboard. And Parker, I'm telling you right now, Isaac Rudell with 15 points, and we are just over halfway in this first half. It is shaping up to be a good one.
You cannot ask for a better start by Isaac Rudell. 15 points already.
Cougars get it going the other way.
And I'll tell you, if you're Coach Kohler, you love what you're seeing from the Cougars on defense.
If we should go back in the history books a little bit, Isaac Rudell's career high of 28 points was against Rockford back on March 3rd of last year. Hatton defending inside against Eugene. Ball goes out of bounds. Substitutions for both teams. Jacob Collicott, Landon Gladney, and Jalen Meeks in for the Cougars. Returning to the court for the Regents, Brandon Emmerich, Micah Swanson, as well as Zach Centers. A deep three from Emmerich hits front iron. Surprised by that shot selection. Greenlee now for three. He hits it, and the Cougars are 5 of 9 from downtown.
This is exactly what you want to see from Coach Collar. Your defense is playing excellent, and you're getting back on the other side of the court, knocking down big threes.
Meeks going the other way. Going over Bell. Collicott able to get the rebound. He wasn't able to finish it.
Just a little off balance there by Collicott.
Eugene slips on the floor. Meeks steals it. He's inside, and a finish. Right now, the Cougars are just dominating the transition game.
The Cougars have all the momentum right now.
Jordan Matthews with the foul. But if we look inside of some of the past games for the Cougars, shooting three, in their win against Marion, they only shot 21% from downtown. Against Dominican, they shot 17%, which was a season low. Currently, they are 55% from behind the arc. And it's not that they're just on a hot streak, too. They're taking much better shots from behind the arc.
They just look more controlled with their shots, and everything they are communicating on defense, they're communicating on offense, everything just looks cleaner overall.
Cougars up 29-18 over the Regents. Gladney trying to back his way inside. Now he turns around. He'll go in with the left hand and the finish.
And we talked about the agility of Gladney. He showed it right there. Getting right past the defender and going in for the layup.
First bucket of the game for Landon Gladney. Foul called inside, goes against Jordan Matthews. Matthews now with 2 fouls. It also means free throws for the Regents. Cougars are over the limit.
And that's 3 big Cougars already in a little bit of foul trouble here in this first half.
Manuel Wilson will replace Jordan Matthews. Nick Phillips returns for the Regents. Swanson makes both free throws, has 4 points, all of which have come from freebies at the line. Wilson slowing things down, trying to set up the offense. Cougars started high. Greenlee will go inside now. Collicott has it. Trying to step around, and one! Jacob Collicott slapped on the arm. Able to get the basket.
I love the aggressiveness by Collicott. Dribbling into a double team and putting it up and getting to the line.
Foul on Nick Phillips, his first. Cougars have 18 points in the paint to Rockford 6. Collicott completes the three-point play. Largest lead of the game for the Cougars, and it's been growing, 14 points currently. Another turnover by Rockford. Cougars get the ball. Checking in for the first time, Javen Reed, sophomore from Wheeling, Illinois.
And the Regents just look a little bit out of sorts here. And as we mentioned earlier, it may be due to the fact that they haven't played in almost 2 weeks.
And if you want to talk about that a little bit further, not having that gameplay feel for 2 weeks, it's very hard to replicate in practice sometimes. The great teams are able to do it, but something about a game is just so important to continue playing because of the momentum that comes with it.
Exactly. I mean, playing on the road is tough as well. In an environment like this, where the Cougars are off to a hot start, you got to be able to communicate on defense, get your team under control, and play to the best of their ability.
Rockford is 4-3 on the road in the season, 1 of 2 in conference play. Nice fadeaway shot by Meeks, rattles out. Lacey going inside, trying to sidestep, almost with another finish inside. And Regents have been doing a good job of getting inside, but the finishes are what has been killing them.
Just looking a little bit out of sorts and a little bit off balance on those quick layups.
Meeks turns it over. Rockford will get the ball. Isaac Rudell checks in for Meeks. Again, 15 points for Isaac Rudell. He is a perfect 6 of 6 from the field and 3 of 3 from deep. Couldn't have asked for a better start if you're Coach Kohler from a single player. Swanson misses his first shot, misses the second. Greenlee gets the rebound. 3-on-2 opportunity for the Cougars. Wilson inside. Wilson now has his first points of the game.
And right now the Cougars just have control, forcing so many turnovers and capitalizing on the other end.
Lacey bricks it. Reed with the rebound. Rockford is 3 of 9 from behind the arc. For a team that is shooting 33% on the season. Behind the back, move inside. Emmanuel Wilson again, and another timeout called by Jeremy Riegel and Rockford. Cougars out to a huge 18-point lead over the Regents with 4:12 remaining in the first half.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. The trees stand tall. Mother, mother, you tell me to stay rooted. The tree's roots go deep. You tell me to focus on my breath, and the trees breathe for the earth. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? Will you be the kind that makes shade, or the kind that shows a new way? Might you be the kind to hug, or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind. The child had a few more questions after that, and the forest had plenty of answers.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Play resumes inside of Geisman Gymnasium. Parker Kelly, Carter Gledhill with you on the call. Quick missed layup from Brandon Emmerich. And we're looking inside at some of the trends in this game right now. Cougars on another run, 7-0 over the last 2.5 minutes. The foul is called on Brandon Emmerich. Parker, the Cougars have been able to get on a couple runs already in this game, but Rockford has not been able to find an answer to those runs and put a stop to them.
I mean, they're able to get inside the paint, just not being able to quite finish.
Jaden Bell and Vincent Eugene in for Rockford. Brandon Emmerich and TJ Lacey out. Gladney, left side, throws it out of bounds. You can see the look on Coach Kohler's face right now. Empty possessions and the 9th Cougar turnover. Not something you want to see for a team that's already out early in the game and has the momentum. Self-inflicted wounds are some of the reasons why the Cougars' runs come to an end.
That's right. Self-inflicted wounds have been kind of hard this season for the Cougars. And if you're Coach Kohler, that's something you don't want to see necessarily, especially at this point in the game. Even though you're up big, those can always come back to bite you.
Micah Swanson's first field goal of the game gives him 6 points. Another tough layup inside for Emmanuel Wilson, but he defies the odds and air hanging up there for a while. Able to float it up off the backboard. Swanson going to work on Gladney, gets help from Reed. Eugene kicks it out to Bell. Rebound by Eugene. A 3 in the corner from Singleton. That's his first miss of the game after going 2 of 2 to start. Greenlee driving inside. Good recognition to see Gladney on the opposite block. Coach Kohler is absolutely pumped up in front of the bench, and you can see other teammates of the Cougars standing up as Gladney tiptoes on the line. Jordan Matthews, Brent Hatton, and Jacob Collicott back for the Cougars. TJ Lacey and Brandon Emmerich in for Rockford. 2:32 remaining, 20-point lead for the Cougars. Riding a 4-game win streak, all against conference opponents. Rockford having not played in almost 2 weeks against WLC, where they lost 86-82. Is off to a very slow start in this one. Rudell trying to keep the streak alive. Heat check. Rebound by Hatton. Swings it outside to Collicott. Hesitation 3. A miss. Rebound by Eugene.
And Collicott just a little hesitant on that shot. Would have gone up a little bit more confidently. That would have had a better chance of going in.
Micah Swanson turning it up a little bit for Rockford. Now has a team-high 10 points. Still, the Rockford Regents only with 12 points in the paint on the game so far. CUC with 26. Hatton, turnaround, misses, defended by Swanson. Rebound by Matthews. Rudell gives it up to Hatton. Nice move on the baseline. Wasn't able to finish with the left hand. Ball is on the ground. Wilson was diving for it. Lacey came up with it, loses it. Luckily, his teammate Zach Centers was there. Eugene with the pump fake 3 gives it up to TJ Lacey. Rudell coming from behind with the steal. And an offensive foul is called. Brandon Emmerich standing in the paint, taking the shoulder from Isaac Rudell. That is Rudell's second foul. Jalen Meeks will replace Rudell. Parker, right now, too, the aggressiveness for the Cougars is reflected in their rebounding. 22 rebounds for the Cougars, only 14 for Rockford. And at the beginning of the game, we talked about how they're going to really have to crash the boards and turn up the aggressiveness. They're doing that right now, and it's reflected by the score.
They're even doing it on the offensive end. They're getting the offensive boards, giving the team a second chance for points.
Foul called on Brent Hatton. That'll be his third, and it'll send Jaden Bell to the free throw line, the freshman from Beloit, Wisconsin. Misses the first, 88% free throw shooter on the season, averaging 9 points a game. Landon Gladney returns to the court. Justin Greenlee as well. Bell able to go 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 42-27 is the score in the final minute of play here inside of Geisman Gymnasium. Meeks in the corner. A lot of off-ball movement for the Cougars. Trying to keep Rockford on their toes. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Wilson trying to find some room. Guarded heavily by Bell. Meeks pulls up. Shot partially blocked, but a foul is called on Jaden Bell. That is his first foul. It'll be the team's 7th. So for the rest of the half, the Cougars will be in the bonus, but for now, Jalen Meeks will get 2 shots on the shooting foul. Meeks a 68% free throw shooter on the season.
And Meeks has been a player that's really stepped up late down the stretch of the season. He wasn't a starter at the beginning, but he's worked his way into a starting role and has been a huge player for the Cougars so far.
Javen Reed replaces Landon Gladney. And you can see right now, you can't see on your screen as well, Jalen Meeks wearing a knee brace on his left knee, so he's dealt with knee injuries. But he's worked his way back into a starting role, has picked up minutes, has really been a leader for this team in his 5th year. Jacob Collicott with a steal. Wanted to go up for the dunk, but is blocked by Vincent Eugene. A foul is called as well. From our angle, I thought Eugene got mostly ball on that.
It looked like it, but apparently there was a foul.
Eugene picks up his second personal foul. Collicott to the free throw line. Micah Swanson replaces Ashton Singleton. Collicott averaging 7 points on the season. Goes 2 of 2 in his trip to the free throw line. Shot clock off, 8 seconds remaining. They give it inside to Swanson. He's double teamed, looks for help. Meek's able to get a hand on it. Possession will stay with Rockford with 2.1 seconds. Nick Phillips inbounding it for Rockford in front of the Cougar bench. Three-pointer from Lacey, high off the backboard, doesn't fall. And if you're a Cougar fan, you can cheer about everything in that half as Coach Kohler's boys head into the locker room up 45-27 over the Rockford Regents. Parker, it was a hot start for the Cougars. They kept it going in the middle part. They closed it out nicely as well. Jacob Collicott with that steal and finish at the free throw line. And really, it was the Isaac Rudell show in that first half. 15 points, 3 of 4 from downtown. He has single-handedly changed the course of this game from what it was at the beginning, where it was a back-and-forth affair, to where now a blowout.
I mean, that's what we talked about earlier in the pregame, his leadership, what the senior brings to the table. He brings a lot to the offensive side of the ball, but he's also brought a lot to the defensive side of the ball. And throughout this game, we've seen glimpses of why he was a All-NAC South Defensive Player of the Year.
Cougars also out rebounding the Regents 22-15. 7 offensive boards to Rockford's 3. That second chance point category is something that Coach Kohler always emphasizes in our Coaches Weekly segment. And they're also taking great shots. He always talks about how there are good shots and then there's great shots. And right now the Cougars are taking those shots, shooting 51% from the field and 45% from the three-point line.
And that's something we didn't see earlier in the season. It didn't look like all the shots were great shots, but so far in this game, they've been taking great shots. They've been taking open threes, and they've been able to get inside the paint and put it up for 2.
The halftime break in the game between Rockford University and Concordia University Chicago. 45-27 is your score. We'll come back after the break on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back to the broadcast. Carter Gledhill joined by Parker Kelly inside of Geisman Gymnasium, where we have a pretty impressive first half from the Cougars with 45 points put up against Rockford. And really one player that stood out was Isaac Rudell, 15 points, almost perfect from behind the arc. And he really set the tone for the Cougars for the remainder of the first half after he cashed in on his first bucket, as you'll see here from that three on the wing.
That's right. That's something we talked about in the first half, how key Isaac Rudell would be in this game. And he's proven to be a big-time player in a big-time game.
And also as well, the Cougars have 26 paint points to Rockford's 13. And we talked about it a little bit as well in that first half. The Cougars are doing a really good job of moving without the ball. Off-ball movement, and when they get a player to drive inside, the other player, like Landon Gladden, we've seen a couple times, is crashing inside and is really destroying Rockford's defensive scheme.
And that's something I've been really impressed with from Gladney. You know, whenever somebody's driving in the paint, Gladney will always crash the paint, get the pass, and put it up. And he's been able to get to the line a couple times as well.
And the Rockford Regions have relied on Micah Swanson a little bit more at the later part of the first half. He now has a team-high 10 points. And after he was slow to start and he got a couple opportunities from the free throw line, they really started to feed him inside because he is a big body, 6'5", 225 as a freshman, and he's really acting as a big man.
And we talked about how the Regents haven't had much of an answer to the Cougars' offense so far, but Micah Swanson has proven to be a really key player for the Regents so far.
Brent Hatton with 3 personal fouls might be something to note if you're going forward in the later part of this game, because the Cougars are without Tavares Davis-Williams, the 6'7 junior. So basically their only post support that they have is Landon Gladney and Hatton. And Hatton is not on the court right now. Cougars will start with the ball. Jordan Matthews has been a really good facilitator tonight, as you mentioned, Parker. Has a good court vision, and the senior has been doing a really good job of leading this offense, not just in this game, but all season.
And he hasn't been a huge factor on the offensive as far as scoring is concerned, but he's been huge in the passing game, 3 assists, and he's also been big on the defensive side as well.
Isaac Rudell gets the first bucket of the half and sets a new season high of 17 points. His previous season high was last game against Marion with 16. As a good second effort inside from Jaden Bell. Bell now with 7 points. Another thing we saw in the first half for the Cougars was they out-rebounded Rockford as well, and they're continuing to display that aggressiveness on the boards. And you mentioned it, Parker, too. It was going to be a difference maker from the start, and the Cougars have excelled at it.
That's right. They've out-rebounded the Regents 22-15, and a lot of those have come on the offensive side, and that's something, if you're Coach Kohler, you love to see. Love to see your team getting those offensive boards and being able to put it back up.
7 offensive rebounds in the first half has led to 7 second chance points opportunities for the Cougars. Good move inside from Emmerich, gets it out to the wing for centers. His 3 is no good. Rudell with the rebound. Brings it up, guarded by Bell.
I like seeing Rudell kind of direct the offense a little bit. He's proven to be the hot hand, and I like Coach Kohler giving him the keys to the offense so far.
Gladney is fouled inside by TJ Lacey. And especially when you have a guy like Rudell who has the hot hand, you want to feed the offense through him. And even if he has the ball and won't get the shot, and you know it of a set play or something like that, he still draws a lot of attention, creates other opportunities for open shots outside for the Cougars, who have been doing a really good job of shooting a 3 as a team.
That's right. The Regents kind of have double teamed him a little bit, and that gives other players such as Gladney the chance to score for the Cougars.
Rudell was going for that missed rebound off the free throw. Stays with the Cougars. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Gladney went empty-handed at the line. We'll also give you a couple score updates around the conference as well later on in the game. There are some matchups that, if you're a Cougars fan, you might want to pay attention to at the half. IIT up 35-33 over Benedictine, who is tied for 4th in the conference seeding right now with CUC. So things are starting to heat up in the NAC conference for sure. Foul called on Zach Centers, his second personal foul, team's second. Matthews inbounds. Rudell a three, leaves it short. TJ Lacey going the other way, picking up steam, slowing down, then goes again. Big block by Landon Gladney. Oh my, Landon Gladney knocks over a megaphone from one of the cheerleaders in the process.
And that's something else we talked about. Landon Gladney and his agility, really bringing that 6'5" body and coming in on the defensive side of the ball. What a great effort by Gladney.
Good response from Brandon Emmerich with a three in the corner. To note, the Cougars are the #1 blocking team in the conference with 4 blocks a game. Matthews doing some post work. Wilson a three. Back iron, offered to rebound by Jordan Matthews. Now the Cougars' 9th offensive board. Good movement on the perimeter. Wilson between the legs, finds Gladney inside, loses it. Meeks a three, rattles out.
And another interesting note, we had talked about how Gladney and Hatton are a little bit of foul trouble, and we start to see some of those guards start to kind of step up into a bigger role. We saw Jordan Matthews go into the paint.
TJ Lacey foul on the ground by Jalen Meeks. That is his second foul. And just a miscommunication on the Cougars' end of the court as an easy layup inside for Brandon Emmerich gives him 10 points. Coach Kohler grabs the whiteboard and calls a timeout. Not happy with that breakdown by the Cougars. Get a replay of Landon Gladney's block. And it'll take us into a 30-second timeout break here inside of Geisman Gymnasium. Cougars up 47-34 over Rockford.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 40, touchdown. Michaela burns it.
An incredible finish by Hall. The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
After the Cougars' timeout by Coach Kohler, you could see the coach very adamant in the huddle. And one thing you pointed out to me, Parker, and it's a great description of Coach Kohler's character and coaching style, is he's never satisfied with what he's seeing. Cougars will be up big, down big. He will coach the same way from the start to the end.
And that's one of the great signs of a great coach. He doesn't, even with a big lead like this, he doesn't like to see his team have a defensive breakdown and give up an easy layup.
Have a little water spill in front of the Regents bench. Give us a quick second to thank the entire production crew at the Cougar Sports Network. Rafael Gonzalez, Wyatt McLaughlin, Emily Balaban, Julia Beers, Sydney Palaskis-Lawher, Chandler Kerr working the game staff today, and Peter Borkowski on Instagram. Bringing you all the content you see on the Cougar Sports Network. As play resumes with Justin Greenlee. Jordan Matthews now has it. You see right now Rockford playing a little bit of a softer man-to-man defense. Wilson wrapping it all the way around and in on the right side.
What a great offensive play. We saw 3 Cougars on the left side of the court, and that opened up the lane for the easy layup.
Manuel Wilson, 8 points. Another defensive miscue by the Cougars. He got caught a break. Brandon Emmerich has been able to sneak his way behind the Cougar defense on the baseline. Jordan Matthews crossover inside. Guarded by Zach Centers. Not able to bounce in. TJ Lacey inside for Swanson. Swanson able to finish. And in the transition game for Rockford, TJ Lacey has been doing a really good job of knowing when to push and pull back in transition.
And that's one of the things we've been able to see from him. He knows when to dribble it back out. He knows when to not dribble into a double team, and he knows when to attack the glass.
Fantastic and one opportunity here for Justin Greenlee. Foul called on Zach Centers. That is his third. Right now, Jeremy Riegel having some words with the referees. He's not happy with some of the foul calls. Zach Centers comes to the bench, replaced by Vincent Eugene. Justin Greenlee, the sophomore from Brown Deer, Wisconsin. Not able to make it a three-point play.
Another note, we see Hatton coming into the game for the Cougars. He's going to have to play really smart defense, already with 3 fouls. So he can't afford to have any stupid fouls.
A shot from Eugene hit the bottom of the backboard, and a foul is called. It was against TJ Lacey. Excuse me, Micah Swanson. That's his second personal foul, team's 4th. Rockford has kept the aggressiveness up the entire game. You can see Jeremy Riegel continuing to push that mindset on his players. Not afraid to be inside and do some dirty work. Justin Greenlee, a 3. First three-pointer of the half for the Cougars after starting 0 for 3 after their 45% performance in the first.
And I like what I've seen from Greenlee so far. He's shown so far in this game that he's not afraid to shoot the 3, something we haven't seen a whole lot from him this season.
An offensive foul called now. It'll go against Vincent Eugene. So it negates the basket by TJ Lacey. Eugene picked up his 3rd personal foul. Right now, Rockford with 5 fouls in the half. We've only played 5 minutes roughly in the second half. And this could be something that the Cougars can really extend their lead with, is the free throws.
Exactly, and that'll be a key going forward in this game. Getting to the free throw line, making your free throws, really capitalizing on those fouls.
Travel violation on Justin Greenlee. Both teams almost even at the turnover margin. Rockford with 14, CUC with 13. Lacey with a nice spin move, gives it to Swanson at the free throw line. Foul is called. It'll go against number 5, Jacob Collicott. Jalen Meeks, Isaac Rudell in for Jordan Matthews and Emmanuel Wilson. Cougars on a little bit of a run right now, 5-0 over the last minute and 23 seconds, courtesy of Justin Greenlee. Jaden Bell, nice move inside on Isaac Rudell. We talked about it in the first half, and we've seen it in the second half already. These smaller guards for Rockford are not afraid to get inside.
That's something they have shown in this game. They are not afraid to attack the Cougars, especially in the paint.
Brandon Emmerich with the steal and finish in transition. Rockford now creeping back into the conversation, down 14. We're down as much by 20 points at the start of the second half. Justin Greenlee, good move. Wasn't able to finish. Jacob Collicott almost with the rebound. Hits off of Jaden Bell's leg and goes out. Nick Phillips in for Rockford. Collicott a 3 in the corner. He's not been able to have that one fall today. He is now 0 for 2 from 3. Another tough shot at the rim by TJ Lacey. He gets it back in the corner, tries for 3. Little short tip and attempt by Eugene, no good. Ball is squeaking out in front of Rockford's bench. Kept in play by Nick Phillips. Cougars able to get it. Foul is called on Vincent Eugene. Maybe a little frustration settling in for Rockford right now as they picked up their 6th team foul. Eugene with his 4th personal foul. send him to the bench as Ashton Singleton comes back in. He had a hot start to the game when he came off the bench in the first half, going 2 of 2 in his first 2 shot attempts from the corner 3. Justin Greenlee keeps it going. He now has 12 points.
I've been very impressed by Greenlee so far. Didn't start this game, but he's played big minutes, and he's stepped up in a big-time role for the Cougars.
A 3 from Emmerich off the mark. Foul called on Greenlee. Justin Greenlee, we should note, has set a new season high of 12 points. His previous season high was 6 against Edgewood College back in December. So again, for a guy that really doesn't do a lot of scoring, he has definitely displayed that ability here tonight.
He's definitely been more of a game manager. He's played a lot at the point guard position, but so far he's proven to be one of the better scorers for the Cougars in this game.
Definitely picked it up in the second half for sure. Landon Gladney in for Brent Hatton. She also mentioned Justin Greenlee has set a new career high.
Great defense from Gladney right there. Keeping his hands up, not bringing them down, and not committing a foul.
Almost an alley-oop between Rudell and Cullicott. Cullicott not able to finish. Swanson inside on Gladney. Nice wraparound move. Swanson with 14 points.
It's great defense by Gladney, but just better offense by Micah Swanson.
Good vision from Wilson. Gladney fouled from behind. Ashton Singleton credited with the foul. Gladney will head to the free throw line.
And as you mentioned, Carter, earlier, the Regents in a little bit of foul trouble so far in the second half. This could be proven to be big for the Cougars.
Gladney in the game with 4 points. 0 for 2 in his first attempt at free throws. Able to make it the first in this trip. Averaging 8 points a game. Playing 20.5 minutes per game as well. Been a big factor for the Cougars off the bench. Goes 2 of 2. 58-42 is your score. 12:23 remaining in the game. Cougars trying to make it 5 straight wins. Good hand from Matthews. Denies a possible three-pointer from Brandon Emmerich. Zach Centers returns to the court for Rockford. Swanson back in work inside. Loses it. Gets it poked away by Matthews. He's rolling around on the ground looking for some help. Gets it to Gladney, who floats it high up to Cullicott. Nice move. Not able to finish. Ball still popping around. Rudell gets it in the corner. Stops in the paint. Wilson drives inside. Another finish at the rim for the Cougars. And they are keeping it going inside now with 36 paint points.
Cougars started off a little bit sluggish at the start of the second, but they've really picked it up.
Centers inside to Swanson. We've mentioned they've been going to the big man all game. Cougars are starting to make a little bit of adjustment as well. Emmanuel Wilson left side and one. Count it. Emmanuel Wilson. 12 points for the sophomore. Three substitutions for Rockford. Jaden Bell, as well as Vincent Eugene and Sincere Galbraith checking in for the first time for Rockford. Wilson not able to make it a three-point play. Centers a three. He drills it. As you mentioned, there have been some times where the Cougars have looked a little out of sorts on the defensive side. The Regents have been able to capitalize on some transition possessions as well.
Yeah, we just saw a little miscommunication right there by the Cougars on the defense, leaving the three-point shooter wide open.
Cullicott looks to feed it inside to Gladney, and he does. Gets it back. Pump fake three. Rudell with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Nice handle, stops on a dime, able to knock it down. Isaac Rudell is having himself a night. 19 points.
What a gutsy performance by Isaac Rudell. The defender right in his face, but still able to knock down the jumper.
Center's three is no good. Offensive board by Galbraith. Coach Kohler calls another timeout. Full timeout, 64-47, 10:31 remaining in the second half.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
211, how can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
Welcome back inside of Geisman Gymnasium. Carter Gledhill, Parker Kelly with you on the call for tonight's conference matchup between Rockford and Concordia Chicago. As Justin Greenlee returns to the court, checked our stats department, and it is confirmed Justin Greenlee has set a new season high and career high. His previous career high was against Rockford University last year on March 3rd of 10 points. Do not believe the clock started on time. So there will be a little stoppage of play. Isaac Rudell will inbound. Justin Greenlee to Rudell. Wilson, quick shot in the corner. Hits front iron. Ball will stay with the Cougars. One player to also note in the box score, Jordan Matthews doesn't have a single point in tonight's game. He's only taken 2 shots, but he has 9 rebounds and 5 steals. You mentioned it, Parker. He is a difference maker. It might not be it on the offensive side tonight, but he's really making up for it on the defensive side. A team guy for sure.
And that's something we've seen from Jordan Matthews all year. He's been great, one of the offensive leaders all season for the Cougars, but tonight doing it on the defensive side is really helping the Cougars out tonight.
Foul called on Emmanuel Wilson. Basket by Vincent Eugene. Rockford now down by 13. Excuse me, 15. Matthews trying to go inside. Dishes it off to Gladney. Able to get his second chance tip in. Landon Gladney with 8 points.
Another assist by Matthews. What great vision to be able to see Landon Gladney on the backside and be able to give it to him for the quick dish.
Centers trying to get it inside. Has it stolen away by Gladney. Matthews the other way. Gladney trying to take it. And a foul is called. Rockford wanted to travel, but a foul is called instead on Brandon Emmerich. Isaac Rudell heads to the bench. Jalen Meeks comes back on the court. Rockford now with 9 team fouls. Another trip to the line for Landon Gladney. Rockford has definitely picked up their rebounding in the second half. Cougars now only own that rebounding margin by 3 rebounds. They have 31, Rockford with 28. The offensive boards is still in favor of the Cougars with 12-9 to Rockford's. Brandon Emmerich, step back three. Drills it in front of his bench.
What a great shot by Emmerich.
Greenlee to Meeks. And good ball movement by the Cougars. They've been doing a good job all night of that, creating opportunities for open shots like Wilson's in the corner. And he answers back with a three of his own.
The focus tonight has been on Isaac Rudell, but another player that's really stepped up for the Cougars, Emmanuel Wilson, already with 15 points so far in the second half.
Emmerich with a heat check three. Ball squirts all the way out back to the top. Bell, good movement now. Three from centers, way off the mark. Matthews with the rebound. Greenlee looking to push a little bit of tempo. He'll take it himself inside at the block. Spin around jumper. A little too strong. Bell with the rebound, feeds it up to Eugene. Stops on the block. It's fouled by Meeks. Jalen Meeks with his third personal foul, team's seventh. So both teams in the bonus for the remainder of the game. Eugene makes the first free throw. TJ Lacey back into the game. Jacob Collicott as well as Brett Hatton. Hatton with 3 fouls, hasn't been playing as much in this game. Only 11 minutes. Eugene makes both free throws. Cougars up 15.
And as we see Brett Hatton come back into the game, he's played a much better defensive game so far in the second half. Hasn't fouled at all, and that's what Coach Collar has needed him to do, stay out of foul trouble because the Cougars really need him.
Hatton inside now, trying to back down Galbraith. He's fouled on his shot. Galbraith picks up his second personal foul. First, excuse me.
Cougars have done an excellent job getting to the free throw line tonight. Haven't been able to convert as much. That'll definitely need to get better down the late stretch of the season, but they've done an excellent job of getting to the line.
Cougars are shooting 67% from the free throw line on the season as a team. In the game, they're shooting now 42%. Lacey's shot is a little wide. Blocked by Hatton. Has it on the ground, looking for some help. Jump ball is called. Players will get picked up off the court. Nick Phillips in for Vincent Eugene. Coach Kohler telling his guys what to do on the inbound defense. Everybody's manned up.
And as we mentioned earlier, Coach Collar does not want to see sloppy defense, even when the team's up by a lot. Does not want to see sloppy defense. It's one of the signs of a great coach.
Emmerich's three is no good. Had a good move to create some separation. Emmerich now 3 of 8 from deep in the game. Collicott feeds it inside to Meeks. Spin around, doesn't hit anything. Jump ball call. Little tangle up between Jordan Matthews and TJ Lacey. Possession will stay with the Cougars. 11 seconds on the shot clock, 6:59 on the game clock. Little inbounds pass to Brent Hatton. He'll dribble it out. 8 seconds now on the shot clock. Emmanuel Wilson with the ball in his hand. Trying to go left side. Stops on the block. Has to find a shot. Doesn't hit. Ball still is popping around. Offensive board by Jalen Meeks at the elbow. Hits it out to Wilson, who faded to the left wing. Jordan Matthews pulls it out, guarded by TJ Lacey. Takes it inside. Able to get a high finish Jordan Matthews finally gets some points to his name in the game.
Matthews has been doing it all night on the defensive side of the ball. It's great to see him finally get a bucket.
A three in the corner from TJ Lacey in the face of Emmanuel Wilson. 14 points is the difference between the Cougars and Rockford. Make it 17. Jordan Matthews, back-to-back trips, back-to-back buckets, 5 points now in the game.
And the Cougars are now shooting 42% from three, which is excellent. It's a big reason why they're up in this game.
So there's a flop warning on Brent Hatton on the play. But the ball will go to the Cougars after Micah Swanson loses it in the post. Landon Gladney will replace Hatton now. It has been a good game for the Cougars to start, and they've continued it in the middle part of the second half after a little bit of a sluggish start, as Parker mentioned. Collicott trying to bunny hop his way in, fell to the court, but found Riddell in the corner. Missed the three. Meeks a tough offensive board, not able to get the second chance opportunity. Bell in transition from the pass from Vincent Eugene. Bell now has 11 points. Matthews, good no-look pass to Gladney, stuffed by Micah Swanson. Good play from the freshman inside to deny.
Great defensive play by Rockford.
Travel on Jaden Bell. Timeout called by Coach Kohler. 5:09 remaining in the game. Cougars up 74-59 over Rockford.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. The trees stand tall. Mother, mother, you tell me to stay rooted. The trees' roots go deep. You tell me to focus on my breath, and the trees breathe for the earth. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? Will you be the kind that makes shade, or the kind that shows a new way? Might you be the kind to hug, or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter which you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind. The child had a few more questions after that, and the forest had plenty of answers.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Both teams coming off of their benches soon after the full timeout called by Coach Kohler. Rockford has 4 timeouts remaining, Concordia with 2. 74-59 is your score inside of Geisman Gymnasium. Parker, we'll talk about some of the Cougars players later on in the game, but I want to emphasize some of the efforts by Rockford. Micah Swanson with 14 points, Brandon Emmerich with 15. Those two have been a good combo if you're a Rockford fan to watch on the offensive side.
And as we mentioned earlier, Rockford hasn't had a whole lot of answers to this Concordia offense, but those two players have really stepped it up, and they've been able to answer in a way.
Rudell over to Meeks. I mentioned Rudell with a new season high of 19 points. Justin Greenlee as well, setting a new season and career high with 12 points. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Long two from Meeks. Doesn't fall. Rebound by TJ Lacey. Lacey with his 7th rebound of the game. Takes it inside. Gets a finish. TJ Lacey has been all over the court as well for Rockford. 4 assists and 2 steals.
He's been a player that's shown he's not afraid to drive it into the paint.
Jordan Matthews keeping it himself after a little quick burst of offensive energy from him. Gets his 5 points, first points of the game. Gladney a 3, misses. Lacey another rebound. Gets fouled on his layup attempt. Foul goes against Jacob Collicott. That is his second personal foul. Team's 8th.
Love the aggressiveness from Lacey, getting the rebound and taking it coast to coast and drawing the foul.
Lacey is coming off of a season-high 19 points against Wisconsin Lutheran College on January 8th. Talked about that. Might have been a difference maker in this game, as well as Rockford not having played for 2 weeks until tonight. Timeout called by Rockford. We get the second free throw in the remainder 3 minutes and 58 seconds of the game after the break.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
Play resumes inside of Geisman Gymnasium. One more shout out to the Cougar Sports Network production team. Rafael Gonzalez, Wyatt McLaughlin, Emily Balaban, Julia Beers, Peter Borkowski, Chandler Kerr, and Sydney Palaskis-Laher, and my partner Parker Kelly. TJ Lacey will attempt the second free throw. Lacey comes up empty-handed. 3:52 remaining in the game. Rudell gets a screen from Matthews. Wilson all alone in the corner. Doesn't hit anything. Rebound by Micah Swanson.
Wilson's been hot all night. Just kind of missed the mark on that one.
Swanson's a freshman from DeSoto, Texas. And for years to come, I'm going to be very interested in watching his development because he has been playing very well tonight. As we mentioned, 14 points, 8 rebounds. Another finish inside from TJ Lacey. Cougars lead now only at 11. At one point in the game, it was at 20.
Got to give some credit to Rockford. They've found a way to kind of come back in this game and fight.
After having the first bucket of the game in the early seconds, and one from Landon Gladney. Landon Gladney, another finish inside. 10 points for him. Go back to the thought prior to Landon Gladney's and one. Is that Rockford had the first bucket of the game, and then since then kind of flipped the switch for CUC, and they got going off and running. Gladney makes it a 3-point play. Gladney now 3 of 6 from the free throw line.
We mentioned how big Gladney's presence is. He missed the last game against Marion, and I know the Cougars are glad to have him back. He's made a big impact in this game.
Long swish 3 from Brandon Emmerich with 18 points in the game. Rockford in a press defense now. Goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Cougars. Emmerich went diving into some of the CUC personnel near the stands on the sideline. Jordan Matthews far left on the baseline. 18 seconds on the shot clock for the Cougars. Rudell has a lane inside, stops, spins around, able to find Jordan Matthews at the block. Tough pass.
And we see what Rockford's doing to Rudell. They're kind of double teaming him, and that's leaving a lot of Cougar players open. We see the dish to Matthews, and he's able to put it up for 2.
And Riddell with 19 points has obviously been leading the charge for the Cougars offense. Defenses will collapse on a player like that, and it gives other players like Matthews the opportunity to capitalize. A three-pointer from TJ Lacey. And a timeout called by Rockford. Only down 10 with 2:07 remaining in the game. It's going to be shaping up to be a good one here inside of Geisman Gymnasium.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
A little bit.
Rockford has been crawling back into this one. They're now 6 of 7 in their last 7 shots, 3 of 4 in their last 4 3-pointers, and a full court press here. Inbound pass from Wilson to Matthews. Getting double teamed now by Emmerich and Lacey. Cougars are able to get it over half court. Under 2 minutes to play. Both teams will be shooting free throws for the remainder of the game. Cougars in a double bonus. Rockford only in the 1-and-1. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Wilson loses it. Goes out of bounds. Rockford on a little bit of a roll here. Parker, this is where the Cougars need to dial up a little bit more defense.
That's right, Carter. We see Rockford on this possession has the chance to cut the lead down to single digits.
Micah Swanson not able to get the second chance bucket. Justin Greenlee has it. Foul called on TJ Lacey on the reach-in. Greenlee will head to the free throw line. Cougars have not shot the free throw well in this game. 43.8% as a team. They're 7 of 16 from the charity stripe. Justin Greenlee is 0 of 1 in this game. Misses the first, and he's only a 50% free throw shooter as well. In for Rockford, Zach Centers, Nick Phillips. Rockford has also put some three-point shooters on the court. They've doubled their first half three-point percentage from 23 to 46. Greenlee makes 1 of 2 free throws. 11-point game. Ball is up in the air. Foul is called. Justin Greenlee fouls Micah Swanson. Jaden Bell, TJ Lacey in for Rockford. A little bit of offense-defense scheme from Jeremy Riegel. Swanson 4 of 4 from the free throw line in this game. Misses the first. Emmanuel Wilson gives it up to Justin Greenlee.
This is a big possession for the Cougars. Need to be smart with the ball and not turn the ball over.
Quality shots need to come for the Cougars, just like that. Landon Gladney dunks it.
Gladney with the exclamation point, just what the Cougars needed, and that might just be the nail in the coffin.
Now a timeout is called by Jeremy Riegel. Another basket by TJ Lacey. Can't get too excited if you're a Cougars fan yet. We'll watch the replay here of Landon Gladney going over 2 Rockford players in the bench hyped about it. 30-second timeout, 52.7 seconds remaining. Coach Kohler, you got the whiteboard in your hand. What are you drawing up to combat what Rockford has on theirs?
I'd say put the ball in the hands of Isaac Riddell. He's been the best player in this game so far. He's been really smart with the basketball. I'd put it in the hands of him, and especially with his leadership, he knows how to end games like this.
Riedel, one of the better free throw shooters on the team, 74% on the season. Cougars are going to have to break the full court press set out by Rockford. TJ Lacey is hanging back. And we've seen this a couple times already, but the football play inbound from Coach Kohler and the Cougars. Emmerich able to get a hand on it, but Greenlee has it, gives it up to Wilson. Now running around, and he finally gets fouled. 47.5 seconds remaining. Micah Swanson picks up his 4th personal foul. Manuel Wilson, 0 for 1 from the charity stripe in the game. 59% on the season, makes the first. Centers and Eugene in for Rockford. Wilson goes 2 for 2.
And those free throws were huge for the Cougars. Haven't been great from the cherry stripe all night. Those were clutch free throws by Wilson.
Capitalizing on freebies late in the game is important. As Eugene's pass had no recipient. Cougars up by 13, 42.1 seconds remaining. Jacob Collicott will inbound for the Cougars. Timeout called by Coach Kohler. Full timeout. 84-71 is your score. Cougars up over Rockford.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. The trees stand tall. Mother, mother, you tell me to stay rooted. The tree's roots go deep. You tell me to focus on my breath, and the trees breathe for the earth. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? Will you be the kind that makes shade, or the kind that shows a new way? Might you be the kind to hug, or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter which you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind. The child had a few more questions after that, and the forest had plenty of answers.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Full timeout call by the Cougars. Give you a little bit of an update around the conference with some of the scores from some other teams. Some big games and results that are in favor of the Cougars.
And we see Illinois Tech knocked off Benedictine, which gives the Cougars the lone 4th spot in the conference. And Edgewood getting beat by Aurora. Edgewood was tied. They were first in the conference, and they ended up losing tonight.
Giving up to Landon Gladney. Bring it down. Landon Gladney with his 2nd dunk. Edgewood actually 2nd in the conference, actually 3rd, my bad. St. Norbert's and Wisconsin Lutheran College tied at 77-2 apiece in the conference. So a win tonight from CUC will put them tied with Edgewood in the 3rd spot in the conference. Justin Greenlee will go to the free throw line and shoot some more free throws. Foul by Ashton Singleton. Jacob Collicott will come into the game for the shooter. But Sincere Galbraith came in as well for Rockford. Greenlee comes up empty-handed. 20 seconds remaining in the game. Nice 3 from TJ Lacey, fading away. Rudell gives it over to Greenlee. And he will hold on to it and dribble it out as the Cougars continue their hot streak, picking up their 5th straight win, improving to a record of 8-6 and 6-3 in the NAC Conference. Parker, it was an impressive win for the Cougars. They started off hot. They came back in the second quarter with that same energy, and they're able to fend off Rockford, winning by 10 points tonight.
Yeah, they started off really hot in the first half, and that's something Coach Collar emphasized at halftime was, how will you finish the game? And the Cougars did not let their foot off of the gas, and they finished this game strong and picked up their first win against Rockford since 2018.
Now looking at the team, their offense was really dominant inside, 52 paint points. And I'd have to check my stat sheet later on, but that might be a new season high. But dominating inside has been a key for the Cougars. Not only did they shoot the ball well outside as a team entirely in the game, but they were able to command inside, so establishing their presence from the get-go.
And a lot of that came from Landon Gladney leading the charge with 15 points, almost all of those coming from inside the paint. He was getting offensive rebounds all night and putting them back up.
We'll also have to acknowledge Isaac Rudell, 19 points, a new season high, is a game-high scorer as well. Let's also mention Justin Greenlee, 13 points. He did an exceptional job in that second half with 8 assists, too. That is a game high as well, and he's done a really good job.
Justin Greenlee has been a game manager all season. Not huge statistics as far as scoring has gone, but he really stepped it up tonight, and he played a big role in the win tonight.
Stay tuned. A coach's interview with head coach Steve Kohler to follow. What's going on? I'm here with head coach Steve Kohler after an impressive 86-76 win over Rockford University. Coach, you keep your hot streak going. 5 wins in a row now. How does it feel to not only extend that streak, but have a lot of players contribute well on offense?
Yeah, well, that's kind of been our deal all year, you know, is the next guy, next man up, really. We talked about this last time. We've just been playing a lot of different styles with a lot of different guys. And I thought that Will and Javen, those guys gave huge minutes tonight. So it was all hands on deck. I think we had 9 dressed, maybe 9 or 10. Everybody that stepped in made plays.
Well, one guy that made a big difference early going was Isaac Rudell, set a new season high of 19 points. We talked about him as a facilitator and a team-first guy, but tonight he really shined with that game high of 19 points.
Yeah, he's starting to step up more and more. You know, he's always done it defensively and on the glass, but he has the ability to be able to score, and he's not just a catch-and-shoot guy right now. You know, he's really finding his game, which, yeah, he can shoot it, but where he's really, really good is in the paint, using his length and those Archie hooks and those Archie J's. So that's kind of added another element to our offense when he can get downhill and get into that.
And you mentioned inside in that paint play from Isaac Rudell, where your team had 52 paint points in that game. I mean, the look on your face says it all. That's impressive for you guys.
Yeah, that's tough. We got some drop-offs. Thought we did a nice job getting Lando on the back door a couple times. But I thought we missed a few easy ones early on, and we just really talked about, like, hey, we can't ask for any better shots right now. We just need to make sure that we're finishing those. So guys are doing a great job of getting it in, and then I thought with our ball speed and our ball movement, that kind of got them on the run, and then now they're chasing, and so we were able to get downhill then.
Well, one guy able to capitalize that was Justin Greenlee.
Yeah.
He had 7 assists in the game, also set a career high against his previous 10 against Rockford last year with 13 in this game.
Yep.
What has his ability been in for you in the lineup when he's on the court?
Yeah, he just controls everything. I mean, very rarely is he ever out of control. And he's so shifty, and he's got good vision. And again, like Isaac uses that little Archie hook. Justin's really good in the paint. You know, a lot of times guards don't have that length that he does. And so if he gets in there, he's good enough to figure out, is it me or do I need to spray it or drop it off? So when he's playing like that, that's huge because he kind of runs things.
One final question for you. In this 5-game winning streak that you've had, what have you seen in your team that has been different from prior parts of the season?
Yeah, ownership, total ownership. I kind of keep going back to this after the trying game of us getting smacked and being down 25, guys are just like, this is enough, and they know we have whatever we need in the room. It was just all the details. We weren't very good at any of the little things. And there was a legitimate, effort to go, we're going to be better at the details. And they are just taking the ownership. If you're in our practices, yeah, we're yelling a little bit, but it's the guys are like, hey, sharpen up, clean it up. And when you have that, that's really special.
Well, Cougars were dominant all game tonight, and you can see 86-76 is your final score from inside of Geisman Gymnasium. Cougars win their 5th straight game and are on the road this weekend against Wisconsin Lutheran College. Coach Kohler, thank you for your time.
Yeah,
Go enjoy
pleasure.
it with the boys.
All right, will do.
For Carter Gleadhill and for the entire production crew here at the Concordia Chicago sports production team, thank you for tuning into this live stream. We'll see you next time for more Cougars Athletics.